Hello, this is an updated guide for how to set up your formatting for Microsoft Word for an APA paper according to Dr. Steimer's requirements. Again, remembering that I'm working on a PC. If you're working on a Mac, it might be different, and she highly suggested that you create a PDF of your document if you're on a Mac, and the way that you can do that is by clicking Export here and then create PDF. That seems to be a pretty easy way, but usually, unless you have a special program on your computer, if you want to edit it, you're going to have to go back to the Word document, create a new PDF, all that jazz. So let's begin with our title page. We begin with the paper title, then your first and last name, and then your Waynesburg University. Oop, I can spell. Alright, so first thing that we want to do is highlight everything on the page. If you press the enter, you definitely want that thing as well, because that will set it up for the rest of it. Times New Roman, 12. Go to spacing, and I find that spacing is the thing that changes the most while you're working, so I always go and click remove space after paragraph, and then I go back and go to line spacing options, click this box, don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. Even if you check this, sometimes they do it. I don't know why. Choose double, and okay, there we go. Then you want to center this, there we go, and as Dr. Steimer was explaining, you don't want it to be in the very center of the page like that. You want it to be in the center of the top half. So if this is about half, then I can bump it down a little bit more. That's now in the center of the top. I'm going to click down to create our abstract page. I believe she said for the transcript video paper, you are not required to have an abstract, but here you go. So the abstract title is centered, but it's not bold, and then you'll want to put that back to left for the typing, and then you will, on a new page, no matter how short your abstract is, begin with a new heading. I believe the first heading, like the first level of heading, is centered and bolded, but double checked your guide on that one. So that's the basic typing. Oh, and then the reference page, we'll do that as well now. So the reference page, again, on a new page, you'll say references, and then references will be centered but not bolded. And in order to do the special indentations, go to Home and line spacing options, or if you just right click and go to paragraph, that will take you to the exact same place. So here where it says special, you'll want to choose hanging, and that will set up everything for you. So that's the basic typing. Let's go to the header now. So you'll double click in the top and hopefully the header will pop up. First thing to do is press different first page, because we need to put running head on the first page but not on the other pages. And I'm going to pin this real quick so that we can see what we're doing. So you're going to type running head, capital R, lowercase h, and then your paper title in all caps. If your paper title is super long, I believe you're supposed to cut it down to 50 characters, but I'm not sure if that includes the words running head or not. I would just check on that. Then tab twice so that your cursor is on the right side. Go to page number, current position, plain number. I find that this is the best way to do it so that it doesn't get weird. And then highlight all of that. Go to Home, or you can just right click, and sometimes it'll pop up right when you highlight. Change it to Times New Roman, change it to 12, and the other thing that I do, that I just started doing, and I don't know if this is the correct way to do it, but this is what I'm doing, is to change it to 2.0 font. And this is because of something that I'll explain later. So there's my first one, and then if you go to the second one, there's nothing there because you made it a different first page. So now it's just paper title. However, you shortened it on the first page. That's how you're going to do it here. You don't add stuff back on. Then tab, go to page number, current position, plain number, highlight that, Times New Roman, 12, and then I'm going to make it double spaced. Now, if your paper title is a bit longer, then you might end up with something like that when you change the font. All you need to do is put your cursor here and backspace, and it should be fine. So if that happens, just reduce the amount of space between the title and the page number, and then that should be good. The other thing that Dr. Steimer mentioned that I haven't done before is changing how much space is between the header and the top of the page. So if you go to design, they actually make it easy. Where it says header from top, you want to change that from 0.5 to 1. And so the reason that I double spaced originally is because if you don't do that, then there is not enough space between the header and the first line of your paper, and so on each page. So I went and looked online at some of the samples, and it seems like there's spacing there. I don't know what they actually want you to do, but this is what worked for me. And then the very last thing that you need to do is to go to Layout, because the margins on Microsoft Word are lies. So you go to Margins and go down to Custom Margins. What I have found on every computer with every printer that I've used is when you print out your 111 margins, the bottom margin is not 1 inch. And if you set it to 0.7, it will be 1 inch. It would be a good idea to check this. I don't know if like an updated version or an old version does it properly, but I have found that this works. Press OK, and now you'll need to double check your spacing, that everything is still where it needs to be, and then you can begin typing. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if I made a mistake or missed anything, or you have any other questions, and I'll try to help you out. Good luck.